Please help to find Alanya Lenoir, aka Fruity. She's a young woman who is 24 years old, 5 feet 4 inches tall, 120 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. Last seen Saturday, July 30th, 2022 at 1660 Peachtree Midtown Apartments in Midtown Atlanta, Georgia. On September 20th, 2022, Fox 5 Atlanta published an update about this open and active investigation. Almost 3 months after Alanya's disappearance, Atlanta investigators now believe she may have been murdered and her body disposed of. But since no body has yet been found, we will remain hopeful and continue to look for answers as to her whereabouts. Investigators identified 2 suspects in the case who Alanya was known to have been last seen with, 29-year-old Deontay Reynolds and 29-year-old Stephen Obuite. Deontay Reynolds is currently being held in Fulton County Jail on unrelated charges, but Stephen Obuite is on the run and possibly in the metro Atlanta area. If you have any information regarding the case or Stephen Obuite's location, officers ask that you contact the department at 404-546-2472. Through social media, the family also asks that if you have any information, contact the Atlanta Police Department at 470-546-4235 and the Instagram page at finding__fruity. Let's get to the show. Hey there, my name is LexC and thank you so much for joining me. This week on LexChat, we are going to be talking about different motivation styles. What is a motivation style? What kind of styles are there? And which one would be best suited for you to help you reach and achieve your goals in life? So if this sounds like a chat that is going to be very interesting for you, then make sure you stay tuned. Alrighty, so anybody who's tuned in live, hey yo, I apologize. My cat climbed up on the box and started messing with all of my pictures in the background. And it's like, why do you choose now to do this when I'm recording LexChat? You know, Wednesdays is the night, so why you acting crazy? Anywho. Couple announcements before we get started, right? Motorboat is playing in the background right now, and just want to let you know it's a dope song. Please go stream it on Spotify, Apple, Tidal, Google, YouTube, whatever your favorite streaming platform is. Please do go check it out. Follow me on those streaming platforms, subscribe to me, whatever it is, so that you can be notified when I drop new music, or just stay tuned to the Instagram, stay tuned to the website at LexCATL, LexCATL.com. It's a dope song. It's a really dope song. I will be, what's today? Today is Wednesday the 5th. I'm going to be supporting one of my friends, Official Triggs. He has a performance in Atlanta tomorrow. If you are watching this live, I'm sorry. If you are watching this live, then you know about it now because I'm telling you. But if you are getting the replay, then I'm sorry, the event has already passed. Let's see, what other kind of announcements? Patreon. If you are interested in having more interaction with me, more direct contact with me, and you want to help steer the content and get more of the get answers to the kinds of questions that you have, then consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/LexCATL. That's LEXCATL. I have 3 different tiers, $5, $10, and $25 a month. That's gold member, platinum member, and diamond member. Each of them comes with their own set of perks. So decide which one you want, although I personally would recommend the diamond. You just get so much value there for only $25 a month. And one of those included values is a monthly 30-minute one-on-one session where we either do consultation, some kind of lesson, or, we do in-person training if you are in the Atlanta area. I think it's just a really dope. It's a dope little feature. It's a dope benefit of being a patron. Early and exclusive access to content, as well as steering the content and getting a little more personable with me. So patreon.com/LexCATL is where you will find all of that. I want to give a shout out to El Cardi and I Hookah Lounge in Marietta, Georgia, off of Delk Road. You can have birthday parties, you can have brunches, you can have paint and sips, you can have game nights, or if you just want a nice spot to chill, then Hookah Lounge, I Hookah is where it's at. You can email them for bookings if you want to do like listening party, or I think they do artist showcases sometimes even. But yeah, all those different events, you can email them at ihookatl@gmail.com, IHOOKKAATL@gmail.com. I like the way I say that because it really helps me to remember how to spell that. It's just fun to do it that way. IHOOKKAATL@gmail.com. So yeah, big shout out to El Cardi. That is his business. He's one of my friends and he's also a dope artist. We should be doing a listening party soon because we recorded an entire album, but never like officially did a listening party for it. So he called me the other week and said, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Just want to know if you'd be down with it." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be down with it. Just let me know when, and we're gonna get right into it." So I still haven't been there myself actually, so that would be a lot of fun to link up with him again and see what he's built. So kudos to El Cardi and shout out to iHookah Lounge in Marietta, Georgia off of Delk Road. Let's get into the Lex check now that those announcements are out of the way. Oh, last announcement, I will be walking in a fashion show on Sunday, October 16th in Atlanta, Georgia. So be on the lookout for flyers for that. If you are a part of my text group, then I will be texting that information to y'all as soon as they send out flyers. I don't have complete information on it, but they did call and text us today and let us know that rehearsals are going to be the day before on the 15th. And the show is, I don't know what time the show starts on the 16th actually, but I will let y'all know that information as soon as I get word of it as well. Alrighty. So yeah, let's get into a Lex check. What's been going on with LexC? What's been going on with me? I feel more mentally clear than I have felt in a little while. And I'm gonna give credit to what I did yesterday, where I actually did a bit of financial planning. And by that, something that's kind of been bugging me is I do have another source of income. Like I'm sitting here stressing about how slow it's been. It's been slow the past month and a half as far as clients not booking as consistently and not booking as many hours as I'm used to. And it's kind of putting me in the hole at the end of the month. I do have certain systems in place to, carry myself through to the next month or the following month if I end up in a deficit from not making enough money in one month. But I was stressing out about, man, what am I gonna do for extra money? And of course, as some of y'all know, I was experiencing a little bit of burnout. Like, do I need to take a little break from music? Because a lot of things involving music where I have to help other people, i.e. engineering, I actually been catching attitudes about having to do sessions, and I find myself anytime I'm told I'm booked a session, there's like a all right, or it's like I don't feel like doing this time and this day. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, well, when will you feel like doing this time and this day? You need the money, but I'm also tired of interacting with people at the moment. You know what I mean? So just been going through that. But something that's really helped me was yesterday I did a little bit of financial planning. So I sat down and at the top of the month, I always go through, how much did I make this month? How much am I putting on my payroll? What's going to taxes? What's going to the savings account? And what's the other account I got? Business expense account. And I do that at the top of each month. But this month I wanted to get some more clarity on my finances. So I made a list of things that I wanted to figure out for myself. And sorry, True. Let me actually get it right here because I got the list. So I actually keep a dedicated notebook for financial conversations that I have with myself. So I have a financial notebook where I go through, what are my plans for my money on a personal level? What are my plans for my money on a business level? I've literally had this notebook since 2005, because I drew this picture. I'm so talented. Anywho, so I made a list of things that I wanted to get straight in my head. So one of those things was I make a little extra money from this app called Neighbor, which is basically like the Uber of storage, the Lyft of storage. When you don't want to use traditional storage places, you can book other people's homes. So like, I don't use my garage, or I don't need to use my garage. I don't need to park there. So I'm allowing someone to rent it out on a monthly basis and store their vending machines there. And that brings in like an extra $100 a month. So I've actually been letting that, initially in my mind, it was cool for me to just let that money sit there. But as I started thinking about it, I talk a lot about, especially recently, about the relationship between money, and then how you have to make sure that you are treating your relationship with money with the utmost respect. And part of that is, it's like the same if you had a boyfriend or a girlfriend. If you never pay attention to it, you never show it any kind of attention, you never show any interest in it, then it's gonna feel lonely, it's gonna feel sad. It'll wander, and then you won't know where it's going, where it's coming, when it's coming in, when it's going out, how much of it's coming in, how much of it's going out. So you have to make the effort of tracking and making it a point to know where your money's coming in, and then what purpose are you giving your money. So check out the latest post on my LexC Finance page, actually, because I actually talk about this. So yeah, basically I assigned a purpose to that money. Like, okay, it's not enough for me anymore to see that it's piling up. It actually stresses me out to see that there's money here and I don't know what job this money has. So part of me getting a little bit more mental clarity for myself was figure out, what are you gonna do with this money? Don't just let it sit here and you feel like you're freaking out because you're not getting enough bookings this month. Don't just let it sit here. So figure out what you're gonna do with that money, give it a purpose, give it a plan, and implement that plan. Make yourself a little spreadsheet to organize so you can see when it's coming in and when it's going to the designated places that you told it to go. And then I wanted to redefine what it meant for me, what I need to do during times of surplus and during times of deficit. Decide what I wanted to do with the business expense money. So I think I'm only left with like $20 something in my business expense account. So there's not much that I can do this month on that front. But something else was make sure I understand my savings account and how much money needs to be in it for my annual expenses. And then give the money in these accounts a purpose and a plan. So I get money from Anchor, Neighbor, OnlyFans, Patreon. So just for me, taking the time to think about certain money and what it's doing, where it's going, how I'm spending it, that has helped to clear up a lot of, I think, insecurities within my own mind. And it's helped me to feel less unsure about things. There's always the chance that things, may not go according to plan. But how can things not go according to plan when there was never a plan to begin with, right? So yeah, I think mentally I'm more at peace because I took the time to define certain financial goals in my head so I can keep it straight for myself. And it felt really good because I guess, I'm adulting. It feels like I have a plan and I've made up a plan that's going to work for me. So it feels so much better. Yeah, I think that's all I got for that. So yeah, what other news is there? I have a dog now. Don't know if I'm keeping her permanently or not. I know for me, I don't intend on keeping her permanently. I just need to know if the family that I adopted her from, if they plan on getting rid of her permanently or not. If they don't want her, if they decide they really cannot take care of her, then I will take her to my mom and my mom will have this dog. But she's a cute little toy Yorkie. Her name is True. True Mama. Hi True. She's sleeping right now, but she's really cute. She's a sweet dog. We had a breakthrough yesterday. She pooped outside 3 times in one day. That's something we've really been struggling with. And I'm so happy. She's 2 years old, but she's coming from a situation where she was left in a cage for most hours throughout the day. And so she wasn't being taken outside to use the bathroom. So she had kind of grown accustomed to peeing and pooping in her own cage. So it only took her a week to get out of that. And I'm so proud of her. So yesterday we had a breakthrough. She peed and pooped outside 3 times. She pooped outside. And then today she pooped outside 2 times. She ate maybe like an hour or 2 ago. So I'll take her outside after I do the LexChat and the Sexy Lexi after hours. But I'm so proud of her. It's been a long time since I've had a dog. Not really interested in having a dog because I'm still not really over Taz passing away. But she is really sweet and we've been getting along. I tore her up a couple times though. I tore her up a few times. Like, listen, we don't pee and poop in the house. Okay? Act like you got some home training. We don't do that here. And she listened. And we had a breakthrough yesterday. So, very excited about that. Super cute. Super cute. I'm so proud of her. Got her some treats and did some positive reinforcement. So, yeah, very excited about that. What else is going on with me? I don't think September was slow, but I got to see my mom and we did the Bridgerton experience. I got to meet Omarion. I finally got to see Alicia Keys after 2 years of waiting for those tickets to be viable. 2 years of that concert getting pushed off because of pandemic. Finally got to see her. Yeah, the main thing that I had to check in about was the financial thing. So yeah, since that's cleared up, I've been feeling better. I've been in the gym more consistently and I've been looking great and feeling great. I've been eating more. I planned out what meals I'm gonna eat this month so that I had a better handle on my food budget. So I'm feeling better about the future because I put action towards planning out certain things, and planning things makes me feel good. Let's see. What's up, Queen? What time is Sexy Lexi After Hours? Sexy Lexi After Hours will be 10 o'clock. And I will put up a link to the Sexy Lexi After Hours. So I'll put up a link on my Instagram stories. And yeah, so I'll see you there. Let me know what you want to talk about because I didn't really have a topic last week. And yeah, so if you could DM me or message me and let me know what you want to talk about on Sexy Lexi After Hours, then we can talk about that tonight because I hadn't really planned anything for that particular discussion. But yeah, just speaking of planning, you know, planning out my finances a little better, planning out what meals I'm gonna eat for the month so I could do a clear list of groceries. That really helped me to clear some brain fog and to make me feel more prepared as an adult. Making a little food menu and then buying food and groceries based off of that. And then I only spent like $108, which I'm really excited about. Most of the meats I needed were already in my freezer. I have a little surplus in my account, so I've decided that some of that is gonna go towards paying down my credit card, and some of that is gonna go towards getting a surplus of food in my house. So when I have a surplus, when it comes to my personal account, that's how I want to do it. I want to prepare for just in case something happens and rotate, you know, putting into a fund, an emergency fund, rotating it, putting into a vacation fund, putting into a retirement fund, putting it into vacation, putting it into something that I want to upgrade around my house, and so on and so forth. So I just feel really good about that. I feel really good about it and I'm excited. So that's all I have for Lex Check. I want to get into the Lex Chat now. And on Lex Chat today, we are talking motivation styles. What is a motivation style? How can you figure out what motivation style you are? And yeah, why is it important to understand your motivation style? So definitely stay tuned. Let's get into that chat after these messages.
Goddamn, raise your hand if you working hard. Goddamn, raise your hand if you know you say, yeah. She work, hey, she work, hey, she work, okay, yeah. She work, hey, she work, okay, she work, she say, tell them that you say, you
So, motivation styles. What is a motivation style? And first off, how did I get to this topic, right? So, I've been reading Omarion's Unbothered, The Power of Choosing Joy, and I'm actually a little behind on the journal prompts, but at the end of each chapter, he has journal prompts and reader reflections for the reader to do. And I decided that, while I go through this book, I want to make sure that I am engaging in, I want to make sure that I'm engaging in reflecting, and I want to make sure that I'm engaging in putting in the work to learn how to be unbothered. And learning how to do that, it comes with doing some of these reflections at the ends of the chapter. So the first chapter is purpose. And the first thing that, the first, journal prompt that's on here is, it's not that one. The first journal prompt that is in this book. Hold on. Let me find it. Yes, Omarion from B2K. He has a book. It's called Unbothered, The Joy of Choosing Happiness. I took off the paper because I don't like the paper being on the book. When it's in my bag, the paper just gets all ripped and messed up, and I don't want to mess it up because I do love it. But the first thing in here, the first prompt that we have is the energy check for purpose. And he asks you to answer the questions: what are you willing to struggle for? What activity makes you forget about the world around you? If you have a dream, could you bring it into reality? What's your motivation style? What gives meaning to your life? Now, side note, okay, but related, on LexC Quotes, I am currently reading this book. I will be uploading me reading this book. So if you don't want to buy it yourself, or you want to follow along with the reading, then definitely make sure you find LexC Quotes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And I will be reading this book and then doing little reflections at the end of the chapter. That's on LexC Quotes, the LexC Quotes page, and then LexC Quotes for YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. So as a little side note there. But the question, what is your motivation style? I stopped and I thought, well, first off, what is a motivation style? Because, you hear of attachment styles or detachment styles, but I know that motivational style was out there, but I never had actually gone in understanding the definition and understanding the different types of motivation styles. So the definition of a motivation style is the characteristic manner in which an individual seeks or finds the motivation to perform a task. Categories are based on individual differences in motivation, including, but not limited to, intrinsic, extrinsic motivation, mastery orientation, and competitiveness. So, motivation style, that definition one more time: the characteristic manner in which a person seeks or finds the motivation to perform a task. So what gets you going? What is the purpose behind why you are doing something? And that is your motivation style. So I thought it would be really cool. Y'all can do this at a later time, or if you are watching live or you're listening right now, type in motivation style quiz. Motivation styles quiz. And one of the first ones that came up for me, obviously I recognize the name Oprah. That's one of the first things that pops up in the results. So go to the one that's at oprah.com. And I took this motivation style, what's your motivation style? The quiz. And it has 10 questions that it's going to ask you. So let's just quickly go through these questions, all right? Let me make sure my audio is good. So question 1, to feel sufficiently loved, I need hundreds of dear friends and random admirers tweeting their devotion to me several times hourly, daily how you doing calls or emails from my family and several friends, a warm circle of 4 to 8 intimate loved ones who connect every few days or weeks, a couple buddies I talk to once a month, or a pet snake. And some of these questions, some of the answers are really trolling. but I think it just is indicative of like a person who's not as motivated by it. Like their motivation might be more random. I don't know. But anyway, second question. I'd feel frustrated if other people didn't give me whatever I want and agree with everything I say, rearrange their schedules to accommodate my desires, listen respectfully to my opinions and ideas, consider my needs when allocating money, time, or energy, stop their cars before running me over. Very troll answer right there. Number 3, to attain my fitness goals, I would have to take home an Olympic gold medal, turn my body into the leanest, strongest machine possible, eat healthy food and exercise regularly, exercise moderately a couple times a week, or open the fridge by myself. Number 4, I'll feel I've achieved enough in this life when I win the Nobel Prize while orbiting the Earth in a space pod I designed myself. I'm well known by others in my field and or my children are very successful. I receive recognition from my peers or family thanking me for my work. I know I've done a really good job on a project at work or home. My pants match my shirt. Number 5, to attain inner peace, I'd be willing to live in a cave and meditate forever, quit my stressful job and sever ties with negative people, set aside half an hour each day to quiet my thoughts, read inspiring books or articles, floss. Number 6, I know I'm living well as long as I have my own private island fully staffed with servants, occasional getaways to nice spas or hotels, good health care, a comfortable home and education for my children, running water and electricity, the freedom to scratch an itch. Number 7, I'd feel sufficiently powerful if I could deploy nuclear weapons, lead a large organization, a charitable cause, or a political movement, organize a group of friends or neighbors to work for a good purpose, set the schedule of activities for my family or close friends, or win at Angry Birds. Number 8, to earn the love of my desired partner, I would have my face and body surgically altered to match his or her ideals, pretend to share all of his or her tastes and preferences, go outside my comfort zone to try new activities he or she enjoys, accept the differences between us, or bathe. Number 9, for me, dressing well means wearing a pearl-encrusted gown originally created for Elizabeth I, this season's fashions from top designers, classic clothes that fit me well, a few favorite outfits I've had for years, or a bib they gave me last time I ate at Red Lobster. Whoever chooses these last options, ciao. And number 10, finally, the quest to find absolute truth is more important to me than life itself, physical comfort, my favorite TV show, shopping, some flavors of ice cream. All right, so take that quiz, check it out. That is the one on Oprah. Google search Motivation Styles quiz. Go to the one on Oprah's page. And then what you will get is a certain number rating. So for me, they broke down their motivation styles by connection, influence, accomplishment, enlightenment, and security. I scored the highest on enlightenment and security. If it's closer to a 3, then it's not that important to you. If it's a 6 or above, then it's very important to you. Mine were pretty much medium. So I got a 4 on connection, a 4 on influence, 4 on accomplishment, 5 on enlightenment, 5 on security. So I'm kind of like very much in the middle, very much neutral, I guess. Or maybe it just means that a bunch of things motivate me at once and it's complicated. I don't know. But my main ones were enlightenment and security. So a security motivational style. You need to feel financially stable and have the backing of an organization or group. You'd cringe at the thought of going out on your own as an entrepreneur or traveling the world solo. You gain strength from structure, whether it comes from your job, family, or community. You need to know where your next meal is coming from, not to mention the money for your next mortgage check, car payment, and dog grooming bill. This for me is spot on. because I very much do not want to cause myself to struggle financially. I want to be able to at least provide the basics for myself. And this basically to me is saying that, money is a motivator in what I'm doing. And that's spot on, because it is. I want to make sure that I'm comfortable. I want to make sure that I can take care of myself. And eventually I want to be able to afford the luxury of taking care of my parents, paying off mortgages, paying off debts, sending nieces and nephews to college if not my own kids, obviously. But this was definitely spot on for me, because I do value financial stability. I value stability and structure. And I feel like I can better achieve my goals when I'm not worried about the basic stuff. So definitely, if there is money attached to it, I'm definitely motivated by that. So I think that is spot on for me. The next one that I got the highest rank in was enlightenment. So let's look up enlightenment. Because the things that drive other people leave you feeling incomplete. So things that drive other people is wealth, fame, social ties. Because those things leave you feeling incomplete, you sometimes feel like an odd duck. You spend lots of time contemplating what it is that calls you. You may be pulled toward yoga, meditation, religion, or nature. To you, a quote-unquote fun trip to Vegas would be a nightmare. A good time is lying under the stars, discussing the meaning of life with a friend, your spouse, or your cat. And this is very funny because I actually do have a cat. But yeah, again, this one is spot on as well for me. So this tells me that another motivating force in my life, positive motivating force within my life. Shout out to Aaliyah. I got the Aaliyah shirt on right now. You're a positive motivating force within my life. Should you ever feel the need to wonder why, let me know. Let me know. Beautiful, beautiful. Shout out to Aaliyah, the princess of R&B. Shout out. I got the shirt on right now. Just had to do that little break there. But anyway, so this motivational force of enlightenment, this is also spot on for me, because actually wealth is important though. So they got me effed up on that part. But the typical materialistic things that get people motivated, it's not for me. Like, even though money is a major motivator for me, that's literally like, if I can take care of the basics and be able to go travel and do things that I want to do when I want to do it, then I would feel amazing. Enlightenment, I like connecting with people. I like influencing people for the better. I like having a positive impact on people. And for me, part of what success would look like for me would be, I'm able to take care of myself. I'm able to take care of others. I'm able to provide for myself. I'm able to help others when they need my help. I am motivating people around me. I play an active role in their success as like a motivator, or someone that's there as like a mentor or just a cheerleader, I just see myself helping people to find their best versions of themselves. And so it's not necessarily something tangible that I'm going after. It's definitely influence that I am after. So this is spot on for me. Let's read through the other motivation styles in case y'all are not already looking at it for yourselves. Motivation style connection. You thrive on being part of a group, whether it's an intimate gathering or a massive social movement. You love celebrations and spending time with loved ones. On a plane, you find it impossible not to get to know your seatmate. Definitely not. At the gym, you're the one who musters the aerobic capacity to make friends while spinning. That's not me either. You're happiest working collaboratively and on team projects rather than solitary pursuits, and you love to love. So I actually scored a 4 on this one, which leaves me kind of neutral. I am capable of this, but it's not a positive motivating force within my life. So yeah, that's connection though. Security, we already read through. Influence. Oh, I'm surprised. Okay, I got a 4 on this one. Motivation style, influence. You crave the chance to lead people and spend a lot of time imagining the amazing things you'd like to bring into being. A fabulous new restaurant, a program for saving pound puppies, world peace. People follow you because you are a born leader who loves to inspire. I do like to inspire. What really motivates you is the process of getting others to act in positive ways. In your case, power does not corrupt, it creates. Oh my God, I see why I got a neutral on that one. Like, that's literally what I just explained. I'm after the influence. That's one of my motivators. So this one, for me, I'm pretty much even keel across the board. Although security and enlightenment are the higher 2, everything else is pretty much in the middle. This influence one is spot on for me as well, even though I only scored 4 for that one. So motivation style, accomplishment. Recognition is the fuel that keeps you going. You love activities that involve a clear, measurable win. True. Whether it's summiting Kilimanjaro, being the top salesperson in your company, or raising more money for charity than any bake sale in your town's history. You can turn anything into a competition. Sometimes you actually care less about what you're doing than the fact that you do it best. For you, life is one big contest. And this one, not as much. I would like to be appreciated for the things I do, but a lot of the stuff that I'm doing is because I want to do it, or I want to positively influence other people. So this one, parts of it are true for me, but not the entire thing. You can turn anything into a competition. That's true. Sometimes you actually care less about what you're doing than the fact that you do it best. Yeah. So anyway, facts. I can see that in you about the influence. Right. So we've read through these motivation styles, right? We got the definition of it. It's a characteristic manner in which a person seeks or finds the motivation to perform a task. So why should I understand my motivation style? As artists, as creatives, as entrepreneurs, why is it important that we understand our motivation style? I went ahead and I typed that question into Google because it's a very good question. And I wanted to hear Google's take on it. What would Google give me? And it says, knowing your motivation style gives you a better sense of self-awareness. You'll be able to identify problems and find the motivation to push through them and persist. That is why understanding your motivational style is so important. So you can take, oops, I hit my camera. You can take the results from your quiz from Oprah's website on what is my motivational style. And you can decide, okay, when I'm doing something, why am I doing it? Am I doing it because I enjoy it? Am I doing it because I like it? Am I doing it because I like to help other people? Am I doing it because I have to? Am I doing it because I'm forced? Like, what is the reason that I'm doing something? And I'm glad that I was inspired to, I'm glad that I was inspired to do this for an episode because, sorry, she wants to get up on my lap. I'm glad I was inspired to do this for an episode because it's something that has actually never been brought up in my classes in studying audio production and in understanding how to deal with other people. But most importantly, how to deal with myself. That's why, that's why I feel like this is so important, because no one ever really talks about the hard parts of the entrepreneurship, the hard parts of working in music. They always talk about, what are the benefits? What are the cool things that are going to happen once you get certain accolades and achieve certain things or get into certain rooms. But what about when I'm not feeling myself? What about when I feel uninspired and not motivated? What about when I feel defeated? How am I going to get myself out of that fog? Because like we talked about in the Uncomfortable Truths episode, one uncomfortable truth is that nobody really cares. Everybody has their own issues. Everybody has their own things that they're going through. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing when we can help each other. But at the end of the day, we got to be able to help ourselves first, because nobody's going to help us before they help themselves. What do they always tell you when you go on a plane? Secure your oxygen mask first and then assist those around you. So yeah, it's interesting to me that motivation style was never brought up in school so that I could understand more about myself and why I'm doing the things I want to do. So like growing up, right? A lot of the things we did were motivated by our parents' approval. It was motivated because we wanted our parents' approval. We wanted to be considered a good boy or a good girl, a good child, or we wanted to be considered the best at something. But most of our motivation as young kids was to please our parents. But as we get older and we start understanding, or we start thinking about what we want out of life and why we want certain things out of life, that's when it becomes important to understand, okay, but why do I want these things? Do I want these things because that's what I was taught I want? Do I want these things because that's what I actually want? Or do I want these things because I want to change something? I want to influence something. And so, especially as a creative person, like I said, and like the definitions, like Google said, it's important to understand your motivation style so that you can understand yourself. And it's going to become very important to understand yourself when you are going through the particularly tough times. So I'm trying to think, after researching motivation styles, because like I said, I've been feeling a bit on the edge of burnout lately. And I've been feeling a bit like, tired of music, and I need to break up this little monotonous routine that I've been going through where all I do all the time is music, even though I love music and it's a part of who I am and what I do, but it's not my entire identity. So I really had to take a step back and think, why do I do this? Why do I continue to keep fighting? Why do I want to keep persisting at this thing that I said I wanted? And for me, it's for the security, it's for the influence, it's for what's the other one that they said on Oprah's site? It's for the connection, the influence, the accomplishment, the enlightenment, the security. Each one of those styles I connect with in some way. So I want to live a comfortable life. I want to live a certain standard. So what that means for me is I have to do things that are going to bring me closer. And I think I want to bring in the definition of discipline as well, right? Because you're not always going to be motivated to do things. Let me see if I can say this properly. You have reasons why you want to do something, but it doesn't always mean that you are going to do what you need to do to gain the things that you want. You may understand why you want something, but it doesn't necessarily mean you'll put in the work for that thing. So, discipline, right? Discipline is the practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior, using punishment to correct disobedience. Discipline, that's a branch of knowledge, typically one studied in. Okay, I need a different. Let's see. Okay, I like this definition. Discipline is to train or develop by instruction and exercise, especially in self-control. discipline, imposing order, and developing self-control. So when I hear the word discipline, right, and disciplined behavior, setting limits and understanding the consequences of your actions. So the style of motivation, right? Why are you doing what you do? What is your reason? What's your purpose? What is your why? Understand why you do something. But understanding why, that also has to be coupled with, okay, how am I going to do it? I say that I want this, and these are the reasons why I want this, but now how am I going to do it? And then the action of how you're doing it, that's where discipline comes in. Just because you understand your motivation style does not mean that you are always going to be motivated. And that is the phrase that I was looking for. Just because you understand your motivation style doesn't mean that you are always going to be motivated. But when you are least feeling motivated, that's when you have to remember your motivation, your why. So motivation is just another way of saying, what's the purpose? Like, why? You know, keep that in mind. Okay, keep that in mind. OMG, it just quit out of Google. Well, I guess I don't need that anymore. That's unfortunate. Or did I just put the window down? No, it quite completely disappeared. Wow, that's a shame, isn't it? Anywho, so yeah. When you think about motivation, for me, right? My motivation, like I said, is to connect people, and it is to influence people in a positive way. And I really like what that one definition said, like the one style of motivation. We want power to create, not power to corrupt. Let me see. Let me bring that up one more time. Oh boy. Mr. Tampa is requesting. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's see what he wants. He's one of the few people I will actually allow to come on here. I want it to take me back.
What up, gang?
What's up, Mr. Tampa? I'm gonna bring.
How you feeling?
I'm good. How are you feeling?
I'm good.
Would you like
Just
to?
in the lab right now. I see you talking to these fine people.
Yeah. Do you want to answer a quick question?
Sure.
What motivates you?
What motivates me?
Yeah. What motivates you? Or do you know what your motivation style is?
What motivates me? The less fortunate.
The less fortunate motivates you?
Yeah.
How so?
Because, like, what I like to say is that, like, a lot of things that we complain about on a day-to-day basis are luxury problems to somebody else. You know, it's always somebody that got it worse than you, you know?
Yeah.
So that kind of motivates me, like, to kind of, like, go harder and shit. You know, sometimes I have my days where I'm like, man, fuck everything. I don't want to do shit. I don't want to do nothing. I'm not motivated. I just had a day like that yesterday. But at the end of the day, today was a better day, you know?
Yeah.
There's somebody that got it way worse than you, so you got to use that as ammunition and turn it into motivation, you know?
So let's see. We got these different motivation styles, right? Connection, influence, accomplishment, enlightenment, and security. So I want to say what you just told me says that security motivates you the most, meaning like usually like financial stability and like wanting to just either be comfortable or be able to provide for yourself, right? Would you?
Yeah. I think more so is freedom. I understand that like finances can give the illusion of freedom, but it really starts with your mind. You know.
Yeah.
The universe listen. You know, the universe definitely listen to you, and that's when the physical start happening and started manifesting. You know, you start getting like investments and money and like jobs out of nowhere just off of thinking positive. You know.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a mindset because where I'm from, it's like a prime. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, how do you keep yourself motivated during those times when you're not feeling like getting up to do anything?
That's a good question. Do something different, like watch somebody else be inspired. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, like if you like look at somebody else be inspired, it'll inspire you too. You know, you ain't always got to be the one that's inspired. Like that's like, oh shit, like I got this bright idea. You might watch TV and get inspired by somebody else's story, or watch a podcast and get inspired by what somebody's saying, or call an inspiring friend, and they put that battery in your back. You know.
Yeah.
And that's what it is about. I feel like that's what it's about. You gotta be a person that just like be willing to be open up to listen to other people and their stories, because you might hear their shit and be like, damn, oh shit, okay, I want to take that sauce and I want to like incorporate that in my life. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, you're in front of your studio, right? You got your Pro Tools set up.
Yeah.
All kinds of shit, right? You have your moments where you like, damn, I don't feel like doing no music. I'm not inspired. I'm down. But I might come around and be like, well, shit, I just had a hell of a day. I just got this place. I just got this going on. And this worked for me. And then you take that sauce and you run with it. And shit, tomorrow might be a better day for you.
Yeah. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's very true.
But I got a question for you, though. I know it's your show.
Okay.
How do you build a reputation of staying motivated and being inspired?
And before you clicked in, I actually kind of touched on this a little bit. So I think knowing your motivational style doesn't necessarily mean that you will always be motivated to do anything. More so, that's where discipline has to come in. So you have to understand like why you're doing things, of course, but understand also that just because you want something doesn't mean that you'll always feel like doing the things necessary to go after it. So I think for me, I have a motivation. I have a reputation of staying motivated and inspired because people see the consistency. I don't necessarily want to do a lot of things, actually. I'm actually kind of lazy these days. I don't want to do a lot of things, but for me, I'm kind of a stubborn person, and when I say I'm going to do something, I intend to see it through. And I try to keep myself disciplined, like, okay, this is what I said I need to do, so this is what I need to do to reach that thing that I said I wanted. And based off of that, that's how I keep myself consistent and disciplined. And then when I get those rewards, like a placement or a new client or praise from people, then that reinforces, okay, I'm doing pretty good.
Okay, that makes sense. And just a trampoline off of what you said just there, like, do you have to? Why is it that a lot of the times we gotta see like an accomplishment in order to see the light in the tunnel?
Why do we? That's a really good question. Why do we need to see the accomplishment? It's yeah, like, why isn't it good enough that we're simply doing the thing that we want to do? I think it's part of human nature to be recognized, to want to be recognized for what we do. So it's easy to say that, you know, you got to be your biggest cheerleader, but it also becomes real depressing when you've been pursuing music for like 9 years and you still only got like 3 viewers on Instagram at a time. No, I'm kidding. Like, it doesn't. So like, even though I'm doing, like I said, I wanted to do a podcast. So, and I've been consistent with it every Wednesday. It's still, even though I'm doing what I said I wanted to do, and I should take joy in that, it still feels like, man, I wish other people could see how great I am. I think it's a human thing. I don't know. I think it's a human thing.
Yeah, that's funny you say that, because I definitely felt that way about certain things. Like, damn, man, why my shit ain't going viral? Why my shit? But why we gotta, like, I realized that even though Nipsey Hussle was a very reputable brand, and you know, he was definitely like a staple in this rap game. Mm-hmm. But in his concept. But I follow a lot of his blueprint, as far as, you know, why, you know, I've looked at a lot of his his interviews and podcasts, and he said, man, it's going platinum and gold. Like, why is that the standard? You know, like, you know, and he was also one of them artists that was slept on. He was a big slept on artist. Yeah. And
until like maybe a few years just before he passed, right?
1 to 2 years before he died. Yep.
Crazy.
And I remember going to Gold Room with Nipsey Hussle on my birthday. It was like the year before he passed away. Mm-hmm. And I asked him, I was like, man, what keep you going, man? I remember I was listening to your shit back in 2013, 2014. Like, what kept you going? Like, he was like, man, I do it for a different purpose. You know, I do it for my own purpose. You know, like, I don't do it for validation. I don't do it to be a platinum artist, to be a Grammy-winning artist. Like, that's cool, but those are trophies. You know what I'm saying? And I don't do it for the trophies. Like, you do it you play it for the sport. And that kind of always stuck to me. Like, damn, like, and people say, you know, I took that concept and just realized that it ain't always power and numbers all the time. Yeah, that's just one side of the spectrum, you know? Like, when you say, I've been doing it for 9, or, you know, when you're doing something for 9-10 years, you got 3 viewers or 2, there's only 1 viewer and 2 viewers. Yeah. It's like, but who's to say that 1 or 2, 3 viewers don't count? You know what I'm saying? Like, exactly. And that 1 viewer might be somebody, might be the next star. That 1 viewer might be the next big PR artist, or big, you know, corporate person, big CEO, or, you know, home developer.
And it's one person who I probably would have never been able to reach, like, physically. But because of this technology, we're better able to connect, and they can even see me, you know?
Exactly. And it's probably somebody, it could be somebody that you don't know. It could be anybody, you know. And honestly, man, I seen a couple heavy niggas pulled up, you know. A nigga Corey pulled up, you know. He done did shit for like 3-6, like not 3-6 Mafia, like UGK and Pimp C, and you know, you got a lot of people that pulled up in here as well. It's about considering the source. Sometimes it ain't gonna be a million people that just like, oh, like, you know, we're fans of you, but it might be 10 motherfuckers that's doing some shit in real life. Yeah. You know, that got some shit. Between me and you, I mean, we do 5-man jobs. Like, it's like 10 people in here, if you really think about it, you know, because it ain't many people in here. There's people coming in and going, but bouncing off energy and letting people know, like, yo, you dope. You fill a lot of positions. You fill a lot of seats. Don't ever let nobody sleep on that. Don't let nobody ever make you feel like, yeah, you wasn't good enough and this and that, because you build your own empire, your own dynasty, and you impact your people, and that's what you do it for. You know what I'm saying?
I think that is the perfect ending line right there. Instagram is actually about to kick me off in about 30 seconds. So you wrapped up this whole episode beautifully. Thank you very much, Tampa Boy Beats.
Thank you so much.
Mr.
Thank
Tampa,
you so much
sir.
for having me. I'm sorry to just dive in on your LexChat.
Nah, I don't mind. You always drop the jewels.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Okay. Peace. Oh, we got 10 seconds. Well, y'all, that is literally like the perfect way to end the LexChat. Thank you so much to Tampa Boy Beats for coming on and sharing those beautiful, encouraging words and like questioning why we feel certain ways that we do. And like I said, what was it? When we were talking about insecurities, we're doing great. But that is a really great question that he asked at the end. Like, why is it not good enough for us to just be doing the thing that we said we want to do? Why do we need the recognition? Why do we need the trophies and the gold, platinum, diamond certifications? That's a very good question. And honestly, I think it just boils down to human nature. I think in order for us to be happy, we kind of have to go against that human nature of wanting recognition, of feeling important or feeling wanted. As dry as that might seem, or as, I don't want to say depressing, but as non-motivating as that might seem, why is it that doing what we said we wanted to do is not enough? Like, I think that really does have to be developed. Excuse me. I think that really does have to be developed over time. It's like as you get older, caring less and less about what other people think about what you're doing and doing things because you want to do it, doing things because it brings you enjoyment. It's not a bad thing to do things for the benefit of others or, for the recognition of others, as long as it's a positive, in my opinion. But we should be seeking to fulfill ourselves first. But being self-aware, to bring everything back full circle, being self-aware means that you are learning yourself. You owe it to yourself to discover who you are and discover what you like, what you don't like, what your boundaries are, what you are and are not willing to accept from people. I think all of those things play into how we show up in life. Yeah, I think that's a good way to say it. All those things play a factor in how we show up in life. And understanding your motivational style is just another way of understanding yourself and understanding what will get you going to pursue the things that you say you want, to pursue the things that you desire, and to get the things that you say you want. So yeah, that was literally like perfect timing for Tampa Boy Beats coming on there. I always call him Mr. Tampa. I'm always calling somebody Mr. or Mrs. But perfect wrap up by Tampa Boy Beats. And thank you to everyone who tuned in live on Instagram. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know if you are watching this on YouTube, if you are listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about this episode. And did you research your motivation style? Did you take that quiz that I recommended on Oprah.com? And did you find out what your motivation style is? And does it suit you? Does it match what you know about yourself? Or did you learn something new about yourself? I already knew, aspects of why I'm motivated to do certain things, but this motivation style quiz further solidified that about myself. So I'm really grateful for that. So share your results in the comment section down below. And please give me a like. Please give me a follow, a subscribe. Hit a notification bell to be notified each and every time I post a new piece of content. I would greatly appreciate it. If you want to go the extra mile in supporting me, then consider becoming a patron of mine at patreon.com/LexCATL, patreon.com/LEXCATL, and become a gold, platinum, or diamond member. Choose which one is more appealing and enticing for you. And once again, check out Motorboat, available on all streaming platforms: Apple, Spotify, Google, YouTube, Amazon, Tidal, whatever your favorite streaming platform is, it's available on there. Check that out. Go to my website, LexCATL.com, LEXCATL.com, for LexC merchandise, #winner sun visors, #winner, #keeper wristbands in every color of the rainbow. And then, of course, we got sexy LexC posters and then artistic LexC posters. And yeah, you can do that on LexCATL.com. Shout out to iHookah in Marietta, Georgia, off of Delk Road. Shout out to El Cardi. He's the owner, friend, and dope artist. You can book that spot for brunches, parties, paint and sips, listening parties at iHookahATL@gmail.com. IHOOKKAATL@gmail.com to get business inquiries about iHookah Lounge in Marietta off of Delk Road. Big shout out to El Cardi once again. And Patreon. Catch the replay of these LexChats on Mondays on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If you did not catch the live, we do record this live every Wednesday at 8 o'clock, and then the Sexy LexC After Hours follows at 10 o'clock. That is on OnlyFans. So if you want to tune into that, a little more spicy conversation, then please make sure you do that. And but thank y'all so much for joining me this week on LexChat. I hope, as always, that it helped you and made you think about some things for yourself and gets the wheels turning in your head as well as it did for mine. So yeah, thanks so much for tuning into LexChat this week. I'll chat with y'all next week. My name is LexC. Peace.
Motorboat, motorboat, yeah, motorboat, feel it from the throat, ayy.